Hello and welcome to our fourth ever episode of Press A2 Podcast. I'm your host Jakub Pujic, and with me today is Mike Murphy,
Aloha.
Scott McPherson,
Hey.
Taylor Severn,
Hello, hello.
and unfortunately no Brandon Williams this week.
Because he's dead.
Scrublord.
He might be, I don't know at this point.
Well, let's just think positive thoughts. Maybe he won the lottery and decided to move to Jamaica or something.
Probably not.
Or he's dead.
Well, wishful thinking and stuff like that. Okay.
Anyways, this week, guys, we'll be talking about Luigi's Mansion, the scurriest game ever.
I don't know about that.
I don't know. It's pretty scary when you don't know where to go.
There's like a door and it slams on me, and I didn't like that. I lost money.
There's like this whole CGI cutscene of you opening a doorknob. It's terrifying. Because it plays every time you open a door. And it's probably my favorite part of the game, actually.
Not the false door.
Is it kind of like how every time you open a chest in Zelda, you get that fucking...
Yeah, but it actually cuts out of the in-game graphics to play a cinematic.
Yeah,
it's his hand coming in to open the doorknob or put the key in, then open the doorknob. And I actually love it. It's so good.
And speaking of like treasure finding sounds, Luigi Mansion actually has its own treasure finding sound too.
And it's
just like no, it's just like
the sounds in Luigi's Mansion are so fucking good. But we'll get to that. First, I want to know, Taylor, what is your first experience or first memories of playing Luigi's Mansion?
I think it was one of my first GameCube games that I had, and
I think it was a launch title, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a launch title, and it was one of the first GameCube games I actually beat. It took me a while, and my fondest memory is that there's an interact button that you can press to interact with things. But if there's nothing in front of you to interact with, Luigi will just call out for Mario. And I love that. And I quote that all the time. It's just like, Mario! Mario!
It's great.
Mario!
Every now and
I
then
love
he screams it. He's like, Mario! It's amazing.
He's dead. He's fucking dead.
Actually, yes, spoilers.
that just got morbid.
Yeah, it did.
Actually,
Morbid Murph!
There's
Metal
oh
as
my
fuck.
god! There's actually a theory out there that the whole Luigi's Mansion is Luigi's dead and he's in purgatory. Basically,
No, that doesn't make sense.
like everything, there's a creepypasta where they're all dead and they're in purgatory.
But you can buy another mansion. I
Yeah.
don't get it.
Myth busted.
Is this other mansion better or worse than the first
It's
one?
more
much
difficult.
better.
It's basically just like, oh yeah, you beat it. Here, play the game again, but it's harder. And it's the
That
exact same.
Sounds great.
It's wonderful. Scott, tell me
Like
about
Dark
your
Souls.
experiences with the first or second mansion.
Well, the first one I actually played first this time.
Oh
Oh.
my god.
And I got it, I don't know, a long time ago. Probably, it wasn't like when it was launched, but it was probably a couple of years after. Because I got it for like, I don't know, like $15 or something.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, I started playing, and I got, you know, I beat the first baby boss thing, couldn't find the key to move on, and I stopped playing because I couldn't get past that point. And then, yeah, so that was my first experience. And then, like, I don't know, a couple of years ago, I picked up the game again, played it, and just beat the shit out of it. So I was
That's
retarded.
wild.
I was a retarded child. So
Clearly.
I played everything backwards, and since I didn't do that, I was really confused.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you actually had to like take a break for a couple of years, think about it. Like, okay, maybe I can do this.
Oh, maybe the key was in there. Oh!
I was so
He was
mad when I
there.
found. I was so mad when I found it. It was
Why didn't I check under the floorboards? Oh my god, I'm such an idiot.
The floorboards were beating.
Listen, it's Luigi's Mansion. It's not under the floorboards. It's in the toilet. Okay.
Alright, well, whatever.
The toilet was beating.
Giggity?
I'd
Ew.
say.
I don't know. Okay. I just got a flashback of.
I don't want to hear it.
Well, I was gonna
Toilet
say
and beating. I don't
Legend
want
of
to hear it.
Zelda, Legend of Zelda: Skyward Sword, where there's like that hand thing in the toilet. I don't know if anybody's played that for.
I have. That's a recurring theme
Okay, good.
in Zelda games. It just keeps popping up, and it's weird because it always asks for paper.
I've never played any other Zelda except for Skyward Sword.
Well, it's the best one.
You're pulling a Scott. I heard that Skyward Sword is like the shittiest out of all of them.
Probably. It's definitely arguable.
But I don't know.
I'd argue for the best.
I actually, well, yeah, we should probably. I don't know. I actually got you beat on that experience.
What? You haven't played one?
The only Zelda games
You've only
I've
played
beaten
the one that's
are
not...
Phantom Hourglass and Spirit Tracks for the DS.
Scott, what's wrong with you?
Never beaten any
so
Zelda
backwards.
game for a console. They're too long.
Why do I hang out with you? God damn it.
To steal his Xbox.
It's broken.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
My Xbox isn't broken.
It was broken when I tried to steal it. That's why I didn't.
Well, maybe it was just conveniently broken.
No, it was broken as fuck.
Mind
Mike.
blown.
Mike, tell me about your first experiences with Luigi's Mansion.
Well, like maybe 5 minutes before the podcast started, I went on to Google and looked up Luigi's Mansion, and then I found the official site, and that was.
And I just found a lot of porn, and that's where I am right now.
Yeah, yeah, that's what I'm on right now. Yeah. Yeah. You're not gonna be hearing a lot from me because internet porn and stuff.
We'll be hearing something. We just don't want to hear it.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Yeah,
moving
that's
away
what
from the
we're
topic
hearing.
of toilet beatings.
No, so from what I can understand, this game is like you're a Ghostbuster, but you're Luigi.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. That's it. You got
Okay.
it. Nail on the head.
Yay!
And Bowser is the
Podcast
main
over.
boss.
No, he's not.
Wink, wink.
Wink, wink, Dutch, Dutch. Need say no more. Say no more.
You're made to believe Bowser is the main boss.
But it's actually undead
Professor.
Bowser.
It's actually Mario.
It's actually King Boo.
It's actually
Oh.
the professor.
Professor
That would have
Egad.
been awesome. Oh my God,
Yeah, he's
Egad
just-
is Mario in the future. Or
Oh my
it's
God.
it's Luigi in the future.
Or. I didn't know there was a seal in the podcast.
No, there's just a retard.
But you're not saying who, right?
Oh my god.
It's a mystery. The audience has to solve it.
Welcome to the most off-topic episode of the podcast ever, and that's saying
Right.
something. Okay,
We have stuff to talk about.
so much. My first experience with the game was similar to Taylor's. I got it basically as a launch title. My first GameCube game ever was Crazy Taxi, so that was fun. And then from that, I swiftly moved on to Luigi's Mansion. And me and my cousin just played the shit out of it because we got a guide and we're beating it. So we just played it for months and months and months, just like beating it over and over, see who could get the best score. And yeah, it was just a great completionist game. Is where I'm gonna go with it.
A completionist game.
Like yeah, you can complete it. Like you can do speed runs. Like I feel like it's almost made for that kind of stuff. It's
Yeah.
super short. I mean, the game is basically a tech demo for how good the GameCube can render shit, and it looked great.
It's not Mario 120 or 180, 128.
Did you see all them ghosts?
I'd give you the speed run, but not the completionist. There's not a lot for a completionist
Nah.
there. It's very arcadey for Nintendo to do, in that it's more, you want more points and such. It's not about completing the game. It's about getting as many points as
Yeah.
you can, or monies, if you will.
Yeah, that was a weird
Guys.
departure from regular Mario games. Like there's like bills and like gold. Like there's the coins, but there's also like actual like dollar bills.
But again, it's not a Mario game.
Yeah, it's a Luigi
Yeah.
game.
Not even like I honestly, it's pretty much. I can say this with a lot of confidence. It was basically like some dude at Nintendo was like, "Hey, I have a ridiculous idea for a game. It involves sucking up ghosts in a vacuum cleaner." And then they demoed it to whoever, and they're like, "Oh my god, this is actually fun! Slap a Mario on there and ship it." They're like, let's put Luigi on because it's funnier." Luigi's Mansion.
Because Luigi's
There you
known
go.
as is usually a scared.
Well, I think that whole personality trait was from Luigi's Mansion. I don't think Luigi didn't really have a personality before this.
Well, he was always overshadowed by Mario. Though.
Yeah, and they kind of took that into making him like, okay, he's afraid and he's very timid.
Yeah.
And that was cool.
Fair enough.
It's actually one of the things I really like about the game because
So it shaped Luigi to how we see him today.
definitely.
Yeah, he's a fucking pussy.
He's the best.
Have you seen that death stare?
Yeah.
Got it out. He's got it out for Mario. Just gotta say.
He is the best character ever.
He honestly.
He can jump higher.
Well, that's not true. He's not my favorite.
Proof he's better. Proof done.
Wall-
Podcast over. Luigi's better.
Wall-
He jumps higher.
Waluigi's Mansion.
All right, bye guys.
I won't.
Thanks for listening. Podcast is fucking over.
I feel like the second one was very misleading with the title. Because it's like, yeah, Luigi's Mansion, like, you know, Dark Moon. It's like, all right, yeah, Luigi's Mansion. The first level, you're in Luigi's Mansion, then you don't see that for the rest of the game.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
Also
that's
spoilers,
awful.
but really?
Yeah.
That's awful. Well, where does the rest of the game take place?
Just random places. Just
On the
like
moon.
it's like a city.
It takes place in
On the
Transformers
moon.
Land.
No, yeah, you just like you go to like this, I don't know, like different areas, like cities and stuff.
I don't know, man. You go places. Do
Yeah.
shit.
Fucking LA.
I don't want to like
fucking
spoil the game because I know
York,
Jacob
LA,
likes-
Southside.
Hawaii.
I don't know if that's a thing.
Detroit.
I would
That's some
talk.
spooky shit right there.
Yeah, it's some fucking spooky shit. You can get stabbed and shit up there, man.
And all,
Motherfuckers get raped up in there.
all I got is a green hat and a vacuum. Jesus.
I would talk more about it, but I don't want to spoil it
Ain't nobody got time for that.
for Jacob. I know he at least wants to.
I want to
it.
play that.
His virgin ears are burning.
Yeah,
You know,
because like I mean,
freaking
you know,
headphones are hot.
as much as I want to get into the plot of the whole plot line of the second game, it would kind of spoil everything.
Well,
Like,
maybe
is
we'll,
there
we'll do that at the end.
that much
we can,
of a plot?
we can so listeners don't get it spoiled, and I don't know. Maybe I'll take my headphones off.
No, there's no point.
Anyways,
But my question is there enough of a plot to actually spoil anything for the second
Yeah.
one?
Yeah, there is.
Oh, okay. That's interesting.
News
Yeah.
to me, man.
I mean, it explains like why. It actually goes into why the ghosts are all aggroed at you and stuff like that. So yeah, I mean, there is a story to it still. It's pretty cool. It's a fun game in its own right, and they added like a multiplayer aspect to it and stuff.
oh yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, yeah, why don't we talk about that? How is it different? How's the sequel different from the original?
There's multiplayer.
I will kill you.
It doesn't. It
I will make you a ghost. You will haunt Luigi's Mansion.
too spooky.
Too spoopy for me.
How does it different? How does it differ? I mean, it's very similar in a lot of ways. Besides the fact that the whole game doesn't take place inside of a mansion. In terms of one thing that I would say,
The titles are pretty similar.
I can't even
Thank you, Mike.
remember. Okay, quick question, because I'm a little bit rusty with the original game because I haven't played it in probably 5 or 6 years.
Yeah.
Were Little Boo's a part of it?
Little Boo's? There was
Yeah.
Boo's, and there was Big Boo.
Yeah.
Specifically Little Boo's?
Well, no, I mean like we're like
Normal
regular
sized Boo's. Yeah, they were part of it.
They're
Okay.
not little, they're normal, okay?
Because like in the
It's
in
not
the-
small, okay?
I don't know, like how did you come across them in the first one?
They were shadows, weren't they?
In the first one, they were hiding throughout the mansion. Like in every room, there was a Boo hiding, and you had to find it. And I think you had to
Okay.
find like 35 out of 50 to progress past a certain point.
Okay. Yeah, so it's very similar again in the second game with that, but there's a Boo in every, like it's level based now, like the second one.
Mm-hmm.
it's not just like you finish that part. Well, I guess it stayed the same as the first. As soon as you finished a part, you went back to the professor, and then you went back to the mansion, right?
Yeah, the first one was kind of like broken up into acts. So like it was the front of the house at the beginning, and then it was the ground floor. But you definitely backtracked a lot.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean it's kind of the same where it's like, you go, you do the objective, you go back, you shoot all the boos into the capture thing or whatever.
Gotta shoot them boos.
Na 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 na.
No, 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 no. Luigi's Mansion!
Luigi's Mansion! Na, 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 na.
Boo,
there is
hunting.
no Luigi, only Zool. Yeah, I watched the movies.
You only needed to watch the first.
Is that what you spent this week doing? Luigi's Mansion? Is it Ghost or something? Ghostbuster! I'm watching Ghostbusters.
Yeah, it's pretty much the same thing, man.
Ghostbusters is much better.
Same plot.
Fuck you. Luigi's Mansion is great.
Luigi's Mansion is great, but
actually, I've never watched Ghostbusters. Scott's very.
Excuse me.
The faces you guys gave me were intense.
You
screen cap that.
What did you do?
You played Luigi's Mansion.
What did you?
I mean, but
how are you?
Ghostbusters came out in 1984.
Yeah, I wasn't alive then.
I think the first one actually came out in 79.
No, 84.
Let's look that fucking shit. You're probably right.
I am absolutely right.
He's the knower of everything and everything. Okay, so Ghost him up.
Oh my
shut
god.
Up, everybody.
Okay, talking about Luigi's Mansion.
What's that?
Fuck,
I am looking this up.
About? Oh yeah, I wanted to ask.
Fuck, he's right. It's 84.
Jesus Christ.
Damn it.
Scott.
I will drink my milk.
You'll win one day, Mike.
Drink milk makes your memory fucking ridiculous.
No
shit. Love life. Anyways, fuck. I wanted to ask: are there elements in the game?
Elements.
Like
fire
in the original,
water?
you can shoot fire, ice, and water.
Holy shit! You could do that.
Yeah, that was like a huge part of it. How'd you forget that?
That was 10 years ago.
Yeah. There's still fire.
Are memories flooding back to you again? And like, holy shit! I did play that game.
Yeah. There's still all the elements, and plus there's like I don't know if this was in the. I don't think this was in the original game, but you get like an alternate flashlight that like is like crazy colors.
A black light?
Yeah, I guess.
Okay.
Acid.
It looks like it basically looks like you're gonna like go on a fucking acid trip because it's like red, green, blue, like all spiraled in together, and like you point it at picture frames and it makes things pop out. Like the picture, like if there's a picture of a coin on the wall and you like use this black light on it, coins popped out of it, and that's how that's how you got the, you beat the score, like the level scores and stuff like that.
Interesting.
Because like the levels were like based on a star system, like you have the 5-star every level or 3 3-star every level, I think, or no, I don't know, I can't remember. Yeah, so I mean, like, because you had to like do it in a certain amount of time, you had to get a certain amount of money, you had to take the least amount of damage to beat these level scores. So that was pretty much the second one. It's still fun.
Similar to the original in that respect. That's good to know.
Yeah, of course, yeah. They definitely were true to the original game still.
Good. Yeah, because like I mentioned, I really enjoyed that game. I mean, like, yeah, it's short. It's like you can beat it in a day. I'm pretty sure the first time I played it, I beat it just by like sitting and playing for like maybe 2 days straight.
Yeah.
And it uses a lot of like it's already short, and it uses a lot of like game length extending mechanics to make it even longer. Like, hey, the whole mansion's dark again. Deal with it. But I still really liked, like, even though those were kind of like cheap ways of doing it, I still kind of like going back to the mansion. Like, oh, like shit, everything's dark again, and like there's no power in all the house, and like it was cool.
Yeah. Did you guys ever find like the secret treasure room in the first one?
Which one? Because there was like 3.
There was I can't remember. It was near the end of the game.
Yeah, there's one near the beginning in Act 2 where you have to like fly through a mouse hole.
Yeah.
And then there's
I
one
remember that.
where you have to fall through a chimney, I believe.
Yeah, I think that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, that's like the big one. That's like the big, like, oh my god.
Yeah. Yeah, it was like gigantic. Like,
Yeah. It was cool because like you can see a map.
was like
You can see a map of the whole building right off the bat, basically. And like there's like if you look
Yeah.
closely, like there's this just empty space, and you're just like, I want to get there. And then you do, and it's just like,
yeah,
congratulations, all the money.
all the monies.
So yeah, it definitely had a lot of like Easter eggs and stuff like that because, like I was saying earlier, like there was a lot of departures from the regular Mario like world. There's dollar bills, the ghosts don't look anything like Mario characters.
Can't jump on them.
You don't jump at all.
Peach isn't in the game.
Mario's Peach.
It'd be Daisy. Come on.
Mario's Peach.
And yeah, it doesn't focus on.
I mean, let's be real. Mario saved Luigi in that game.
Did he?
He did.
But
I forget the exact ending, so I can't deny this.
Mario comes out of the painting and he's all dizzy
Yeah.
with a picture frame around his neck
So is that the objective of
to make Mario dizzy. Yes.
Luigi's Mansion? No, to like rescue Mario.
Yeah,
Is that
basically
Yeah.
the basic story
Yeah.
is that Luigi won a mansion from a contest he never entered, and Mario, this is all real things. And then Mario goes ahead of him to check it out, like, "Oh brother, you got a mansion? Let me check it out for you." Meanwhile, he's like going in there to
It's sketchy.
steal all the paintings off the wall, and then spoilers, he gets turned into a painting by ghosts. So Luigi has to go save him. With the
Oh damn it, Luigi! I was too busy doing Peach in your bedroom,
Yeah.
and then I got jumped by the bunch of fucking Ghostbusters, and now I'm in the fucking
Painting.
Da Vinci Code. I don't know.
What?
Luigi's Mansion, the Da Vinci Code.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the basic.
For
plot.
some reason that came up. Yeah.
He painted some shit. But I
I was gonna say
Who was,
Leonardo da Vinci, but you know, Da Vinci Code came first, so. I guess I'm just kind of retarded. I'm sorry for everyone.
It was you.
It's
We
mystery
found him.
solved.
Did you have like a favorite mini boss, like of the big ghosts that you fought?
Mine was probably. I know everyone hated it, but I want to say Big Boo.
Oh, the final
No,
boss?
not
Big
Big Boo.
Boo?
Like not King Boo, Big Boo. I think he's Act 3 boss. Everyone hates him because it takes so long to kill him and it's so finicky. But I don't know. I kind of like that fight.
I honestly don't even remember.
Basically, it's
I remember that fight. I'm having trouble remembering other fights though.
There's the
There was the
graveyard one with Mr. Grimy,
Mhm.
who's like a big purple ghost.
Was there a dog there?
Yes,
There's
there's
the
a dog
baby.
right outside. And then there's the baby, which is the first one. And of course, King
Yeah.
Boo.
I remember the babies.
The baby is very memorable. Just
And then
because
And
there's
that's all the bosses.
that's literally, it's a short
Well, no,
game.
there
There's
were-
only 4.
No, there was like the guy at the dinner table.
He's not a boss,
and,
though.
Oh, it's like a mini boss. That's what I said.
Yeah. Okay. So who's your favorite like ghost to catch? Really?
Yeah, fair enough. That's I
Okay.
guess.
The orange one.
Yeah. Most memorable, I want to say, is probably the eating guy, Gourmet or whatever his name was.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
What was another really? I liked the waltzers, the 2 dancers,
Yeah.
and
Memories.
oh,
Oh,
and
yeah, and like
later in the game. Sorry, later in the game, you fight like these like chestnut soldiers, like all these crazy
Yeah.
ones. Those ones are cool too.
you do fight a lot of them again in the second game.
Oh yeah.
Like a lot of the like maybe not exactly the same, but like and also I don't remember if this thing was the thing in the first one, but like in the second one the ghosts like wear stuff. Like they wear like a helmet or something, and you can't flashlight them in the like when they're like looking at you. You have to surprise them with the flashlight in order to stun them. Or you can like vacuum, or you can vacuum what they're wearing off if it's like not solid.
Yeah.
You can take their clothes off.
There's no sexy
You can take
ghosts.
all their clothes.
Suck all their clothes off? That's weird. That's weird, Scott.
Yeah,
There's no like ghost Kate Uptons flying around where you can like suck their clothes off and
Mike, go back.
enjoy.
Mike, go back to your porn. I'm sure
Okay.
you'll find a lot more there instead of pixelated
I've got plenty.
pixelated ghost boobs.
Got plenty.
Please type in pixelated ghost boobs.
Got 1080p ghost boobs, bro.
60 frames, ghost boobs.
Yeah. All that plus one.
Fuck. What was I talking about?
Who knows? We
Oh
just
yeah,
mentioned-
favorite mini
ghosts
bosses.
we like to fight.
What do you guys remember about the ghosts? Them gooped ghosts.
I'm just remembering like all these ghosts you're talking about, and it's like, oh my god, memories are flooding back, and stuff happened in the past. Guys, I was alive before now. It was amazing.
I'm seeing a similarity here because I do recall back when we reviewed Halo, you didn't remember playing ODST, but then like halfway through the podcast, you're like, "Holy fuck, I've played that game!"
I'm really prepared for these podcasts, as you can see. Wow.
You're the only one who has this game in your house.
That's not true.
I could go grab it.
Play it
Throw
right
that
now.
to you.
Start beating some bosses. Tell us what some of them are. Because fuck, I can't remember any more than the ones I mentioned. That's why they're my favorites.
Okay, well,
remember-
you guys will have to keep talking at length in this podcast.
Because that hasn't been done
Yeah,
already.
for about 6 hours.
One thing I can talk about the game was the controls. So the game is it's like a third person fixed perspective. It's always from like the front of the mansion, if that makes sense. And you can control Luigi's flashlight with the C stick. And I found that difficult. Does anyone else remember that?
Really?
Yeah, like it wasn't
Like
it was just because like everything else in the game was pretty like straightforward, and then just with this stupid flashlight / vacuum controls, it's just like no, left, go left, up, to up.
yeah, it was okay. It was difficult. But I mostly had the only difficult parts were, I would think, were the mini boss fight. It's like when you're trying to suck them up and like they drop the fucking like random shit on you. It's like great. Like in the baby fight where you had like dodge the fucking like rocking horses and the beach balls and shit.
Yeah.
And when you had to get the pool balls and shoot them at the pool guy.
Oh my god.
Oh my god, I forgot about that.
Hard, right?
And we have a Brandon. He was asleep this entire
Alright,
time.
Heroes from
Let's
the
just
dead.
start over. Okay, welcome to our 4th ever podcast. Today with us is Brandon Williams.
Brandon, how you doing?
Yeah.
Hey.
So
Oh,
we're
we
all
know.
Luigi's Mansion out, so it's all you now.
Speaking
Zing.
about the controls, there was a couple things I did find frustrating about it. Especially like near the end of Act 3, beginning of 4, the game, at least to me, to my, I don't know, 12-year-old self, it really ramped up on the difficulty. Like, there was no reliable way to heal, at least not from memory. And I found, like, at that point, I was just always running out of hearts and dying quite frequently.
Wow, why don't you be more emo, Jacob?
Yeah, why don't you just go cut your wrist?
Ooh.
Vacuum up your blood.
Oh, this got morbid.
Listen, it was the only topical comment.
I'm looking for something to one up here, but I got nothing. I mean, Morbid Murph over here, and I've got nothing.
This is right in your wheelhouse, man. It's so scary. It's the scariest game I've ever played.
I do have to say, I felt really dumb when I got to the final boss because it took me like a good 2 minutes to figure out how to beat him.
The
That's
final
it?
boss
2 minutes?
was kind of difficult.
Yeah,
That's what she
but
said.
no, I
Brandon.
just I couldn't remember how. Like, I mean, I couldn't figure out how to injure him, and I felt really dumb when I figured it out. I'm like, wow, that was pretty obvious. I don't know how I didn't figure that out.
You have to suck
It's
up
like,
his
well,
fireball.
imagine this. Yeah, yeah. You have to shoot those other. Yeah, you have to shoot those things at him. Those
His
like spike
connection was
things
breaking
at him.
up.
No, I was just.
Yeah, it was pretty amazing though.
Let's not pretend that it was anything else when I'm just dumb.
Okay.
But yeah, how do you beat him?
Spoilers.
You hit
Spoilers. Spoilers.
Yes,
Spoilers.
major
Yeah.
spoilers
Spoilers
for Luigi's Mansion.
for
Cut to number.
2004.
A game I will never play.
You'll play it.
Probably not.
Probably not. Like get those spike balls like sucked up against
yeah.
the end of your vacuum and launch
And
him
it knocks
at
off his head, yeah.
Yeah, like it knocked off his costume.
Yeah, so what we were talking about earlier in the podcast, you're made to think it's Bowser, but it's actually King Boo in a Bowser costume. Spoilers.
And then the second game they said, fuck you, it's just King Boo.
But turns out it's actually Bowser in a King Boo costume.
Wow. That would be something, wouldn't it?
Kind of reminds me of that Family Guy clip. I'm not a man. I'm a woman. No, I'm not a woman. I'm a horse. Actually, I'm not a horse.
I'm a broom.
I'm a broom.
Ding ding. Just falls down.
Yeah. Well, honestly, Diane, I'm surprised.
Honestly, Diane, I'm surprised. Oh God.
And there's our.
And there you go. You got it, guys. We filled the quota. We're all done.
Whoop!
Except for we didn't talk about the game.
We talked about
Two
it
out
a
of three.
little bit.
Whatever.
Actually, I'm not a broom. I'm King Boo. Brought it back.
Brought it back. So,
I'm a normal boo.
Brandon, did you get a chance to play the second on 3DS?
No,
No.
absolutely.
Great.
not.
Okay. Honestly, I don't.
Has anyone else played it on 3DS?
Only Scott.
Me.
And from the sounds of it, it sounds pretty cool. I might either A, have to buy it, or B, steal it off you.
Yeah, just borrow it off me. You don't. No point of buying it unless you absolutely want to.
Why support our favorite franchises? No, but seriously, I'm borrowing it off you.
Because Nintendo is so broke.
They have been making a lot of money.
Might
Oh, right.
I blow your mind for just a moment?
Okay.
Consider the following.
Here we go.
In not a sexual way.
Oh God.
Is it like the old Mario game?
No. I find that recent Mario games, or any Nintendo game for that matter, are very overrated.
Interesting.
My mind is blown.
Maybe I am speaking the words of the devil, but I really don't think that Nintendo games are that good.
Okay, I just want to
here's
jump
the
in
thing.
before we talk about this. For our listeners, the half-assed Luigi's Mansion conversation is now over, and this has become a discussion on Nintendo. Good.
Okay, well that's just my point of view.
So
Here's why you're wrong, you
here it is,
sack of
okay?
shit.
Here it is. I will have to agree with you in a sense because all they really do is reboot series, or they reboot the series with a twist on it.
Fucking
And, like,
Mario Tennis, Mario Bowling, Mario Party, Mario...
Not even that. I mean, it's
Shit.
just like they make Mario Tennis and they make Mario Tennis again, and then they make Mario. They like, and I mean, like all consoles do it, but I feel like the game pool for Nintendo is much smaller than say Microsoft or Sony.
I don't think the other consoles do it as bad as Nintendo does.
No, because that's what I mean. Because their game pool is smaller. They don't have as many options to choose from. They got like Mario, Donkey Kong, Zelda, uh,
Because they're afraid to go outside of that
Pokemon.
stuff. Like there are a couple other games out there. Like
oh yeah, for sure.
There's a Dead Space game, and there's a what's that fucking first shit? I'm terrible at it. I don't know a whole lot of Wii games or Nintendo games, but
I mean, it's not that it's not just limited to those games. It's just those are their franchise games.
It seems to be their go-to.
Yeah, and,
like,
and
I can't make it any. You know what would blow people's minds? Let's put a game where every single character we've ever done is in one game, and then we make them fight to the death.
Oh, I mean, Sony does that too.
That sounds amazing.
Because it's fucking Super Smash.
I mean,
what?
I mean, it's fighting games. It's just a fighting game. Sony and Microsoft have had plenty of those fighting games.
Like,
there's one. It's PlayStation All Stars.
Mortal Kombat.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm not playing Master Chief and fucking punching. I don't know.
Yeah, but also
Ghost from
Sony.
Fucking Call of Duty in the face.
And Soul
Okay.
Calibur.
I'm gonna step in here because, you're talking about third-party games, which I will agree, Nintendo, especially recently with the Wii and Wii U, doesn't have a lot of. But you can still find Call of Duty on Wii. Maybe not the newest one. I think they stopped finally. But you can still find Call of Duty. In the older ones,
they stopped after Black Ops 2.
You had Metal Gear. You have Monster Hunter. You have friggin' Soul Calibur and other fighting games. Like they were on Nintendo games. Not as much recently, I will admit. But they have those games. It's just when you think Nintendo, you think Mario, you think Zelda or Metroid. And speaking to that, they go back to these characters, but it's usually they usually use those characters to sell new mechanics. I mean, just look at Luigi's Mansion. This game has nothing to do with Mario or any of that, but they always they just use Luigi and Mario to sell this new game. Like, oh shit, I know what a Mario is. Let's pick that shit up. Let's go play that. And you're not jumping on Goombas, but it's still fun. Mario Tennis, the same thing. Let's slap Mario on it, but it's a tennis game. So they're just using the characters as branding, not so much as remaking the same game over and over again.
No, but I'm talking about when they do remake the same game over and over and over again, like Super Mario World. Like, how many times have they remade Super Mario World?
Mario Kart or Mario Party.
Yeah, I mean they're
or fucking
Mario Kart and Mario Party. They have nine plus games, but I mean you have to remember Nintendo.
Mario Tennis was awesome.
Yeah,
Mario Tennis
okay,
was awesome.
Yeah. So there's two things you have to remember. Those games are still fucking great. They're all great games.
Yeah.
And
I'm not saying they're not good.
If we're gonna look at first party titles now, which I think we should limit the discussion to because I said so, I guess. Nintendo's been around. Nintendo's been around for like as a video game company for what 35 years now. So Mario has
at least.
So Mario,
Scott,
Scott, how long has has Nintendo been around? Well, if you go back to the pre video game days, it's I think it's been 100 years. Anyways.
I'm gonna make my own podcast and I fuck you.
Press X to podcast.
Yeah, go make your rival podcast.
All by myself.
We'll see you in podcast hell.
But before I forget,
I'll see you there.
Before I forget, so Nintendo's been around for a long ass time, and yeah, Mario has like 106 games in his franchise.
1889.
But
boom.
Yes, Nintendo used to be involved in like brothels and like some really weird shit, and then they were like they made card games and stuff, and they're like, fuck it, let's make video games, and here we are. But so yeah, Nintendo's been around forever, and Mario's been around for just as long. But you have to remember, first-party games for like Xbox or PlayStation, you have what? Halo, and then for PlayStation, it's There are a couple. Uncharted,
God of War.
God of War, and
What do you mean by
first party or second party?
Made by Sony or
Yeah,
Microsoft.
made by Sony or Microsoft, or
So,
made
Gears of
made
War.
by a company who is working like specifically for Sony or Microsoft. So like Game of
There's a lot of exclusive titles for Xbox and PlayStation.
yeah, but like for like games like Mass Effect, it was only on Xbox and PC, right? And
Yeah.
now it's on everything.
Yeah.
Whereas a game like
Except for Wii.
no, it's on Wii U actually. You can get Mass Effect on Wii U. Mass Effect 3,
can you?
yeah. But I wanted to say, shit.
It sucks.
So games like that, yeah, they're console exclusives until they're not. Like Resident Evil 4 was exclusive to GameCube until it wasn't, and now you can get it on the fucking iPad. Whereas like for second and first party games they're only on those consoles, unless something crazy happens. But what I want to mention was Xbox and PlayStation have their franchises. They haven't been around as long as Nintendo, but we're already on what, Halo 5. We're already on Uncharted 4, God of War, what, 4, 3. Like they do the same thing.
Aren't we on like Mario Party 12?
No, Mario Party stopped a while ago.
For
I think they
Nintendo?
stopped at 9. Like yeah, they've been I'm not saying they don't do it, but they like every company goes back to these characters because they sell. And honestly, I feel like Nintendo, I won't say just Nintendo because a lot of love goes into the other franchises too, but Nintendo definitely doesn't like, oh, let's remake another Mario game, eh? Like they definitely put a lot of love and attention into it. Like it's a new experience every time.
I have to stop
Yeah.
you. They totally did that with Pokemon though.
Really?
Like, they
Grand
have
Theft Auto.
100 different Pokemon games.
There are a lot of Pokemon, and even worse, they're split into different
like not
versions.
to mention they just remade. Yeah. I
Yeah.
guess.
Definitely, Pokemon is one
They
of.
did remake it, but they did
Sorry, Pokemon.
in the new game.
Damn it!
Okay.
Sorry. Pokemon is definitely one of the worst accusers of putting out like multiple games iterations, but when you really get into them, like there's so much. Like just look at how popular they are. Like there's so much love and attention that goes into those games, and like so they try out so many new mechanics in each one. Like the first one was Pokemon. The second one had like the day and night cycle and animations, and it was in color and all this shit.
Weather.
Yeah, weather. The third one again, weather, and there was like double battles and like in each one they add stuff. In the newest one, everything's 3D, and also your Charizard evolves now. Deal with it. Like
Holy shit.
it's
Spoiler
not the
alert.
same game every time. It's close. It's definitely heavily iterated upon, but it's not just the buy it again, give us $45 more.
In a world where Pokemon keeps on one-upping itself,
Our world. Pokemon's fucking great. Shut up.
yes, or in a world where Digimon no longer exists because Pokemon was way too popular.
Digimon was awesome. The cartoon was amazing.
Whoa, Digimon was awesome.
The games were awful.
I didn't like the card game. I didn't like the
It
card
sucked.
game, but the anime was 100%
Yeah.
better than the
Yeah,
Pokemon.
I'll get Machine out here. She fucking loves
No,
that
you're
show.
retarded. You guys are
Thank
retarded.
you. Yeah.
Name drop.
But I think the point of my little tirade there,
Oh.
sorry, was to make myself feel good because my basic philosophy is get the newest Nintendo system so you can play all the games you like, so I can play the next Mario, so I can play the next Zelda, and then get a PC so I can play everything else that's good. So I can play the next Metal Gear Solid. So I can play Papers, Please. So I can play Hearthstone. And everything else that I want to play is on my new Wii, my new Wii U that's sitting back in a closet until Christmas.
In a box. Crying.
Honestly, I'm probably gonna open it. This
I
week.
have a much more vast game pool. I can't limit myself to just a PC and one console.
Well, don't you have just Xbox and PC? Or do you have Wii and...
No, I have a Wii, a Nintendo 64, a GameCube, an Xbox 360. And I'll have an Xbox One. I mean, not that I'm not I can't limit myself to one console because I like, you know, my game spectrum is so wide that I like to play. And it's not possible. Just like own a Wii U and a computer and say I'm content because I've gotten attached to, you know, like the Halo franchise.
Yeah.
And, you know, but I will still always play Nintendo games because they're great.
Makes sense. Yeah, like you definitely get attached to a certain friend. Like that's what they're banking on, right? You getting attached to Halo or whatever, so that you keep buying the console. And that, I mean, that's what Nintendo's built on. Like you, at this point, you buy a Nintendo for Nintendo games because there's nothing else on it really. Everyone else has abandoned them.
Yeah. And, I mean, I wasn't in no way earlier when I was saying that, like, you know, Nintendo's remaking their games. I wasn't saying that they were bad. Their game pool is much smaller than, well, PlayStation especially, because God knows how many PlayStation 2 games are out there.
No, that is true. Their pool is much smaller, just because, like I said, all the third-party publishers have basically abandoned them at this point.
Yeah, and that's mostly because their consoles aren't exactly up to specs.
Yeah, they're slower. They're definitely slower. I mean, since
because
the
they
Wii.
don't really care about. Well, I mean, even the GameCube was pretty behind the Xbox and the PS2.
That's not true. The GameCube was a powerhouse. It was the most powerful machine of that generation. Yes, that's true. Go look it up. No.
No, Xbox was better.
But
No.
yeah, but yeah, now since the Wii U since the Wii rather, their hardware isn't enough compared to the other consoles, and also like between the Wii and the Wii U, their controllers are messed up. Like they're so different. They're such a radical departure. And from what I understand, it's a little harder to code for like Wii and Wii U, and I feel as a company, Nintendo is a little more Eastern leaning. It definitely leans towards Japan, although I feel like that's changing. Probably within the last 2-3 years, they've started to look more towards the West.
I just think Xbox and PlayStation, they're just leaving Nintendo in their dust. Like, you look at the newer Xbox 360 games and the newer PlayStation 4 games, and then you look at fucking, I don't know, Brawl, the new Brawl that's coming out, Smash Bros. It's just...
Mike, have you played it?
The Microsoft and Sony have so much more. Yes, I have.
The new one?
Yes,
and you played Mario Kart Wii U, right?
Yes.
And you still say
it's the same fucking game over and over again. All they do is slap a new picture on it. They just upgrade the graphics. I'm pretty sure the mechanics and everything are the same. They'll add in new, maybe a little tweaks here and there with, like, I don't know, red shells do something different, or I don't know.
Yeah, like just
shit
like a small
that.
change.
But yeah, but it's nothing huge. Like, I'm pretty sure it took somebody 5 minutes, and they just slap up a fucking new game, and here you go. I don't know. I'm just not a huge fan of Nintendo. Let's just get that.
Clearly, because
may I just burn in hell for it. I don't care. I don't care for Mario games. I don't care for Donkey Kong. I don't care for any of that shit.
Yeah, like it's.
But here we are reviewing Luigi's Mansion.
We stopped doing that a while ago. No, that's definitely a viewpoint that's fairly common. Like, You're more interested in like your channel is you're Morbid Murph. You play horror games. You're not gonna find that on Wii. Like there's so few games on Wii that are horror games that are that realistic kind of gritty style that you, I'm assuming, really like.
I thought you guys said that Luigi Mansion was
It
fucking
is scary as shit, but that's one game. It's one
scary.
game, Mike.
It's not
It's
scary.
the only scary game.
It's
It's not.
First of all, it's absolutely not scary at all.
It's Ghost, man. It's got to be scary.
And secondly,
Did I have a secondly?
No, there's only number 2. Fuck you.
Yeah. Basically what I want to say was that's definitely a prevalent like people who maybe played Nintendo when they were young or didn't at all, and they moved on to Xbox or PlayStation. They're definitely like, yeah, that's for kids, or like it's not what I want. I want more realistic looking games, and that's not what Nintendo does. They do challenging games. They do family games, and they do party games. That's their wheelhouse. And if you're not into that, well then, like if you're not looking at a game like, oh, this is really fun mechanically, like I can really dig into it, and it's the jump, Mario's fucking jump is down to the pixel perfect, and you can do speed runs and all this bullshit. If that's not your thing, you're not gonna find anything on Nintendo because that's what they thrive on.
I suppose they prefer to stick to the traditional mechanics and how they make their games and stuff like that.
I wouldn't even say that. I mean, Nintendo in the gaming space is one of the biggest innovators. I mean, everything from Wii controls to Mario Galaxy, which completely reinvented 3D Mario games, let alone Mario games. Like, it was just so innovative in the way that like you could move around a planet and like the different camera angles and how you played with gravity and stuff. Like they're a super innovative company. It's just people, especially people who aren't invested in them, they're just like, oh yeah, it's Mario again. Who the fuck cares?
Yeah, that's probably my problem with it. I find Nintendo games are too cartoony for me.
Like they will never do.
That's probably it.
I think Twilight Princess is probably one of the most realistic games, first party games they've ever done.
I have no idea what that is.
You should.
I own it.
Actually, Mike, you should play Zelda Twilight Princess, because that is a great Zelda game. I think you'll really love it.
I did play.
Metal as fuck. You get to play as a wolf.
And this one's not named Star Wolf.
No, yeah. I don't know. I played Skyward Sword, and it was kind of boring.
Yeah, Skyward Sword.
Yeah.
Skyward Sword, again, arguably the worst Zelda game. Some people love it, and I definitely enjoy it, but it was the first Zelda game I didn't beat. I stopped playing.
I almost beat it. I did give it the time.
Yeah. But yeah, that's unfortunately not the best example of Nintendo's awesomeness.
Yeah.
No, they're older Zelda games. Zelda games are definitely way better. I haven't really been like, I really want to sit down for the next 3 days and play Zelda.
Fuck, pick up that new one for 3DS. Apparently that's ridiculously good. Like, it's amazing.
I know. I want to get. I need to get a Link Between Worlds, and I still want to get Ocarina of Time for 3DS because I never beat it.
Aren't those games like those Zelda games are on average like 250 freaking hours or something, right?
Oh,
they're insanely
I wouldn't say
long.
That much, but they're pretty long. You'd have to definitely, like, if you knew what you were doing, you'd definitely have to sit down for a couple days.
I mean, unless you're a speedrunner, those games, like if you're actually going to sit down and play this game, it could take you a butt ton of time.
What would you say, Jake, for like story-wise? 50 hours, maybe?
Zelda games on average? I know Skyward Sword was about 50 hours. Yeah.
Would you say that was shorter?
I would say that's probably one of the longer ones, if not like the average. I mean, Ocarina of Time.
Okay.
I definitely played it for fucking ever. Twilight Princess is a pretty long game.
Majora's Mask.
That's only 3 days, Scott. Speaking of which, Mike, do yourself a favor.
Yo.
Never played
No,
Majora's
play that fucking game. Mike, get a 3DS, for the love of God. Get a 2DS. 2DS is brilliant. It's the best thing ever. Brandon has one.
No. Yes.
Get a 2DS
I like it.
and play.
I know more about video games.
And
Listen to me.
play Majora's Mask when it comes out. It's an older Zelda game that they're remaking.
Green of Time.
And play, I don't know, Pokemon, or is there another game, or maybe the new Zelda game. Play something
Yoshi's
on
Story.
2DS.
Yoshi's New
Yes.
Island.
Yeah, that's it. Yoshi's
Don't play
New
that
Island.
game.
Play that game.
Do the bosses rip your head off and drink your
In
blood?
Majora's Mask, maybe,
Yes.
Yes.
All of them.
and in Yoshi's Island, definitely.
Then, if that's the case, then maybe I'll play it.
I honestly just look up Majora's Mask. I think you'll love it. It's weird. It's definitely the weirdest Zelda game.
It is trippy as fuck. I have seen a couple
Yeah.
reviews, but I don't know. It's creepy. It's not
Morbid.
scary.
Damn it! I thought you were gonna. I thought
Yeah,
that was
well-
gonna.
Being
I thought that was
scary.
gonna link up.
No,
Yeah, I did play, as an example, I played Fear 2 for the first time, probably last weekend, and it's supposedly a scary game and everything. I'm sitting there like, just running through it. This game's fucking easy as shit. Oh my god.
Yeah, there's a.
And I don't know. I feel like that game might fall under that category where it's everybody makes it out to be creepy and scary and all that shit, but it really isn't. I don't know.
Zelda.
I don't know. You're gonna have to sell it on me a little more than that, man.
If you play when you play Five Nights at Freddy's, please tell me that it's not creepy.
Oh my god, I'm gonna play the shit out of that.
Two quick things I want to mention. Mike, for the horror games that you probably play, there's basically two categories. There's action horror games with horror elements like Fear 2, maybe one's a little scarier, and 3. Those are just like, or Dead Space 2 and 3. Those are action games with horror elements. Games like
So we're gonna name this.
There's games like Amnesia and Outlast where
yes, exactly.
you don't have any way to defend yourself, and you're basically just running from the scary
not
bastards
necessarily
that
the
you're
fact that
chasing.
you can't defend yourself, but like they're actually like they put you in a state of mind where just like, fuck, I'm actually scared right now.
And then there's like Evil Within that just came out, and that's exactly like Outlast, except for you get to defend yourself a little bit.
I won't play that game big time.
It's actually really good.
Really? I have heard nothing but
Yep.
shit about that
Like
game.
Resident Evil when they tried to make Silent Hill.
I had a lot of fun.
Playing what?
Like the Evil Within. Not fun like yeah, that was a fun game. Like I was creeped out, and I was like, this is actually a really good game.
Well, yes, I plan on looking at that game, and I actually was introduced to a new game today. I think it's called SPC or something like that.
God.
But basically, the guys that are chasing you, you can't look at them directly, otherwise they attack you, and that shit,
Okay.
That's one of them.
in my mind, would just like fuck with
I just
your
want to
head.
tell our listeners the game he's talking about is SCP Containment Breach. I want all of you to look
Yes.
to go on the website, SCP, Secure, Contain, Protect, yeah, SCP, and read some of their top stories, and then go play the game. It's basically it's not so much that you can't look at the enemies. I think if it's the one I'm thinking of, you can't not look at them. You have a blink meter. And if you don't look at the guy who's chasing you, he immediately snaps your neck. So if you blink,
Yeah.
you're dead.
True story.
Such a cool game.
That sounds like
It's fucking metal as fuck, dude.
Mike, go on that site and just don't sleep for a couple days.
Dude,
I
I'm gonna
think
fucking play the shit out of that game.
I think we should start closing out the episode. One thing I want to mention before we
So this-
do. Sorry, Scott. This is my final attempt, Mike, to
okay.
sell you on Majora's Mask. So Majora's Mask, the world's ending, and it's still a Zelda game. So like things, it's just like, oh yeah, I'm Link and I'm swinging my sword and getting roops. But the world's ending, and slowly throughout the course of the game, people start to realize it. And there's this one part when you're on a ranch, and there's this young woman and her younger sister. And in the Zelda world, because it's I think teen or everyone rated, there's no alcohol, and so basically they use milk as a euphemism. Is that the word? They use it as an analog to alcohol. And so this woman on the last day when everyone's supposed to die, like they're a couple hours away from death, her little sister doesn't really realize it because she's just a kid. And there's a piece of dialogue when you go talk to them, which is basically the older sister is like saying, "Hey, let's celebrate. You're finally becoming an adult. Let's have some milk and let's get drunk." And the little kid's like, "Yay!" But if you step away and look at that, basically the older sister is getting her little sister drunk before she dies, so she doesn't feel it. And that is
Awesome.
Majora's Mask.
Okay. Okay.
You know what's even better than that?
Mm-hmm.
Conker's Bad.
There's a talking poo!
There is a
The
shovel.
great mighty poo.
No, there's a
You know where
tree
there's also a
that-
talking poo? In South Park.
Yeah, that shows you.
Yeah.
Howdy ho!
And I think
And there's also a
You know
cow.
what else a talking poo
You're a
is?
cow.
The end of this podcast.
You're a cow.
that's where we'll leave it,
Maybe I
guys.
should get a little high.
Let's start closing out the show.
Okay.
So
what were we talking about before?
Majora's Mask.
Press A to question
It was
mark.
Mario Party, right?
So
Press A, the Luigi Mansion
Bring-
cast.
bringing
Press A to
it back,
question mark.
our basic opinion of Luigi's Mansion is it's awesome, and it's short. Yes,
it?
Brandon, you missed
it?
all of Luigi's Mansion.
You really did.
That's
I
okay.
think what you can take away from this podcast is go play Majora's Mask and go on SCP. Mike,
Conker's Bad Fur
Mike,
Day.
do you have, or actually,
Yeah.
do any of you guys have any last words on Luigi's Mansion?
No, I'm pretty sure we covered
Good,
it all.
and more.
Mario!
Mario,
I like
And
pancakes.
more.
Mario.
Oh fuck, it's Kratos!
Oh, fuck, it's Kratos!
That video was so fucking.
Holy
Fuck are you,
shit.
Mike, do you have anything to say? Not on Luigi's Mansion on your channel.
Oh, okay. For my channel, I am currently uploading my first episode. It's kind of a piece of shit.
Yeah.
Your competition is this
Like,
podcast,
I mean,
so don't worry about it.
Yeah, okay.
We don't even have video.
So I'm kind of working against myself just being part of the podcast.
You're purposely
Yeah.
Where
you're
you
purposely
say-
sabotaging
That's
it
exactly what's up.
so that yours is better.
Okay, well, I have 135 minutes remaining in the upload. It's
Jesus
about,
Christ.
yeah. I decided to go with a 1080p
Nice.
resolution, and
Nice.
I'm kind of regretting
That'll
it. but
jump up.
I made
when
the
you
video.
Get off Skype. I mean,
Oh,
we're recording
yeah,
this
okay,
live
well, maybe.
in my basement. We're all here, right, guys?
Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
I
pitching
just
to
Half
the
of you
Fed
are
right
just
now.
actually
I'm
robots.
petting. I punched Jacob in the arm, and I'm petting my own cat at the
Ow.
same time.
You've got long
What if I
arms.
said I'm petting my
to
arm
break
and
my cat.
punching my cat?
So, Mike, your channel,
Okay.
it's actually happening.
It's in the process. I've decided I'm gonna do 2 types of reviews. The first type is I'm calling it the first 15, and basically I'm just gonna play the first 15 minutes of the game and give you my opinion on whether or not to play the fucking game. Because for example, the first
15 minutes of game.
episode. Oh my god, that's a good fucking idea. I need to change the name. I need to change it. Gotta change the
Before you
name.
get excited, I stole that from a YouTuber. He's pretty famous.
Okay, great. Well, anyways, I just came up with it.
And he stole it from you. Yeah.
Fuck whoever. And yeah, he's an asshole.
We recorded this in 2012.
Yes,
Yep.
that is exactly. No, actually, we recorded it in 1991.
In 1080p?
Yes, when I was just
Wow.
And what's your other show type?
The other show type is I'm actually going to do a full review, and I'm actually going to put some effort into the video editing. The first 15, I'm basically just... It's sort of... I don't know if you've ever seen Markiplier, but basically it's just going to be a webcam, and I'm just going to be playing the game and talking about it as I'm playing. That's pretty much what I did with Red Dead Rising, the first one anyways, and it's a piece of shit. Not just the video, but the game. The game's a piece of shit. I fucking hate that game so much. Oh my god. I'm never playing
Brandon,
it again.
you haven't said anything in 15 fucking minutes, and that's all you have to say?
Yeah, that's my opinion on Mario Sunshine.
Oh my god.
Mario Sunshine.
I hate everybody.
But yeah, that's pretty much
Okay.
it.
Me?
Last thing is Taylor. I know you're not gonna do it,
Yes.
but I'm gonna ask anyways. Do you have anything to share with the class?
Hey, how's your water, Taylor?
I don't have any water today, but I will say my favorite SCP is SCP blank space -J.
Yeah.
That's a good one. That's a good one. The slash or the -J means it's a joke one. It's not real. It's just a joke. And it's a
I
good
think my favorite one is the one we were talking about. The one that
Yeah,
snaps your neck if
probably.
you don't look at it.
pretty good. No, that's SCP-173.
I just found it. Oh my god, that picture's so creepy. Oh fuck. Ugh.
It's not that
It's so
creepy.
I'm linking it. I'm linking it right now. I don't even want to look at it.
It's so that the audience.
I'm linking
can
it to
see.
you guys.
He's linking
The
it
audience,
right
go on SCP and look up 137. And you guys click on that link and just don't sleep. Oh fuck.
Never.
now. Okay.
Anyways, so yeah,
I
Taylor
will not conform.
has a channel, called Views and Throughs, where he does views and or throughs. They've got video games, they've got toy
One day.
reviews, and it's pretty cool.
One day.
So check it out, because it's actually a thing,
that's
and it's half decent.
the kindest thing.
It is
anyone has ever
way
said.
better than Mike's channel.
Holy shit! I would not even say that. I haven't even seen Mike's things, and I would not say that. That it is better than.
As
Them fighting
Scott,
words.
Brandon, lame as always, right?
Hey,
Awesome.
Hey, hey,
As for me,
hey.
Oh, I mean,
have feelings,
Brandon,
too.
You were dead for half of this
You guys
episode,
should
so-
start your own YouTube channel just to fight Jacob.
I have my own YouTube channel, but I don't want to pimp it.
as
Okay.
for
Pimp it
Jacob's
later.
YouTube channel, it'll be where you're listening to this, unless you're listening somewhere else. In which case, press A to podcast on YouTube. We're gonna be putting up the podcast, and we'll also be putting up some gameplay footage of us playing.
Press A to research.
No, that doesn't happen here. So yeah, it'll be a thing. Next week, I think we've decided, Brandon, you weren't here. We're going to be playing Crisis, the whole series. I think with a focus
Ooh.
on 1 and 2, a little bit of 3. So if you guys want to
I like.
get hyped for that, and
Woo woo.
otherwise, I think we can call it a day.
Yeah,
Call it a
it's
night.
exciting. This episode
Best
is going to be called
podcast ever.
Press A to question mark, question mark, question mark.
Yeah, this was all over the place,
Pretty much.
but I think
It was great.
Press A to
we'll end it
everything.
with a.
Yeah, I was here for 40 minutes, and we only talked about Luigi's Mansion about like 2 minutes of that time.
You missed a lot, Brandon.
You did. You missed the entire Luigi's Mansion.
Okay,
discussion.
guys, have
It's okay.
fun and good luck.
I'm gonna get
This isn't
one
a video
beer.
podcast, right? Like you guys can't see me.
No.
We can't see you.
Good, because I'm totally getting changed right in front of the
Unless
camera.
you're unless you're pixelated Xbox
Yeah,
avatar.
unless underneath your clothes is an Xbox avatar, you're safe.
So Mike just got up in the.
does that.